What's going on, guys? Kelton. I'm back. Okay, I know it's been a while. I don't know. I kind of took some time off, started focusing on the business a little bit more, and really focused on trying to grow this thing. So there's been a lot I've been working on. You can see I got a little bit of new swag on that I'm wearing, some new marketing that I'm using. Got the new hats, all fin print. I know I've mentioned it before for you guys, but for any of you new ones, fin print, that's who I use for all of my uniforms, all my sublimation stuff. So let's see, let's do the recap last year and kind of talk about a few things. So we ended the second year at 161,000. That was my year-end gross revenue. So, but let's kind of look at the numbers. So the first year I was part-time and I did 24,000. Second year I was full-time in March, so not the full year, but you know, the majority of it. And I went from 24,000 to 161,000. So I think it was like a 700% increase in revenue. And a lot of that was just being able to focus and dedicate more time into it. So obviously the amount of time you guys get to focus on your business is going to increase your revenue exponentially. This year versus last year, so let's look at the customer count. So last year I ended with 60 customers. That was how many clients I had, 60 clients, and I did 24,000. This year I did 161,000, but my total client list, including the 60 from last year, was only 140. So, you know, I only added 80 customers from the previous year, but I had a 700% growth. So what's the difference? And the thing is like the 80 customers that I added, yes, I added 80 customers, but I didn't even get to do all the work for the previous 60 customers. Again, there was probably only about 10% of those actually called me back this second year around. And we'll say that I did 80 new customers, and let's just say we got 20, we redid 20 from last year. I honestly don't even think I had that many repeat customers, but say I had at least 20, so we'll just make it 100. So 100 customers this year to be 161,000, such a huge difference. So what changed? The biggest change was packages. So learning about packages, I didn't offer that in the very beginning. You know, I was one of those where I didn't want to quote somebody for something more than what they were asking for. I felt like that was kind of car salesy, you know, and that's just, it doesn't fit my personality. But the thing is in the way that I've learned it and the way that I try to teach it and explain it to a lot of the new guys is, you know, if you go to the restaurant and you pick out the menu and they've got a cheeseburger on there and nothing else, well, you're getting the cheeseburger or you're going to go somewhere else. So make sure that you're giving them a nice, pretty menu, all the things that you offer, all the products and services that you offer. Because a lot of times people, like, especially with like roof wash, a lot of people don't even know that roof washing is a thing. So when you put that on the menu, all of a sudden they start looking at it and going, hey, you know, that's not something I even knew was available, but yeah, I'm into it. I could definitely use that service. So make sure that you're listing every single service that you offer. You want to try to list every service every time, because that's a great way to very easily double and triple, you know, what your total job ticket could be for that potential client. So always list every service. Really, that was the biggest thing. So I will say this, one of the things that I did differently this year versus last year is last year, and this is one of the areas that I fell short on. I did 161K this year. I probably could have done more had I been more intentional. And this is just me. I know a lot of guys will disagree with it, but when I started this year, like, I felt like I was busier. So what I started doing is I stopped going to customers' homes during the proposal phase, and I just started doing more online bids, and I would just submit their quotes to them and then just wait and see if they would reach back out and they would accept. So I got really slack on following up with phone calls Now my email automation still does that. It still follows up with my customers, and I landed a bunch of those just through the email automation, but I was missing that human connection. And that's the thing, is like what sets me apart from the rest of the guys that are in the industry and that are doing the same work that I do is I'm selling myself, so if people can talk to me, even if it's just over the phone, it doesn't even have to be in person, but just by making that phone interaction, you can sell yourself. You can people can hear it in the tone of your voice, and they will make up that decision just from the phone conversation, or at least it'll weigh better in your favor if you can sell a little bit of who you are through that phone conversation. So that human connection, that interaction is huge for selling your business, because you're really selling yourself. That's your biggest denominator between you and everybody else that's doing it. So I was slack on that. We fell short on our goal. I made a goal of 220. We only hit 161K. And I say that only just from like a goal standpoint. I'm stoked that we hit 161K. I mean, the growth over last year was significant, extremely significant. I mean, it was just so drastic. But I still didn't reach that goal of 220, and I was kind of slack on it, and that's why. So I didn't do as many in-person quotes, and then I fell short on doing the follow-up phone calls and relied heavily on my emails. So ultimately, I was lazy. And that's what it comes down to, is I was lazy when it came to those two aspects, and it hurt what my top line revenue could have been. We probably could have easily done 20% more than what we did had I actually at least made those phone calls. And I'm seeing that now, because towards the end of the year and the beginning of this year, even though it's been slow, the more interactions I have with people, the better return that I'm getting. So I'm getting a better close rate from that. Now I'm still at 50%. So, and I really, again, that's another one of those things, is like, you guys need to start monitoring your close rate. If you're at like a 70, 80% close rate, you're probably too cheap. You can kind of go up on your prices a little bit. If you got a really high close rate, your prices are probably too cheap, and you need to start bumping those prices up. So use that as a good way to judge if you're in the right price range. If you're closing 70, 80%, your market will probably allow you to close a higher ticket. So start bumping your prices up, or start offering, those packages and stuff like that too. That's also going to bump that ticket up. So if you can get around like 50 to 60%, then you're doing pretty good. So start offering packages. What may happen is your close rate may go down, but your overall ticket's going to increase, so you're going to make more sales throughout the year. That's obvious. And you're not going to work as hard, so you don't want to be out there killing yourself, using more time and more resources to make less money. Charge appropriately and bump those rates up. And that was what I ended up doing, is I ended up marking up my square footage rate. I think the first year I may have been charging 10 cents a square foot, 12 cents a square foot. And I've increased it a good bit since then. So, but ultimately it was the things that I did start offering those packages and started focusing on really kind of catering to those customers in a better way, that helped me achieve some of those commercial jobs that I got. So increased my prices, started offering packages. This year now, I'm going to go back to some of those fundamentals that I had that beginning year, which is making sure that I'm doing more in-person quotes. And again, that's me. I know a lot of people suggest against it, but my biggest selling point for my business is me. You can read all my reviews. Most of my reviews, they're drilling my name into those reviews. People are buying me. So, they're not saying Under Pressure did a fantastic job. No, they're saying Kelton did a fantastic job. So, and that's what they're looking at, is, it's the time spent with those individuals. It's the time in front of those individuals that they remember. They remember your name versus your business. Now, the marketing aspect of it, my marketing has gotten better. So, increased my prices, started offering packages, And then my my marketing has gotten a lot better too. Even like just overall brand recognition, and that's kind of what I'm trying to harp on. Not so much the marketing, but the brand recognition. So, you know, the hats, the shirts, the new signs, even those have better brand recognition on them. So that was really key too for last year. Better equipment. You gotta upgrade your equipment. Don't spend all your money upgrading your equipment. You need to spend money pushing back into your marketing. But I did upgrade the equipment. So I originally started out with a Walmart pressure washer. You guys know that. Started with a Walmart pressure washer. Did that for about 6 months. Put everything into the bed of the little Toyota Tacoma that I was using from my dad. I did that for probably another 6 months that first year, 6 to 8 months. I made the majority of my income that first year working out of the bed of that Tacoma. That year and a half, whatever. And then I got the trailer, so I upgraded to the trailer, and went from started with a 2.4 gallon a minute, and then the Tacoma had the 4 gallon a minute, and then I got the trailer, which has the 8 gallon a minute. And not saying that you need big commercial size equipment to make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money just using a 4 gallon a minute. 4 gallon a minute is plenty. 5.5 gallon a minute is plenty. For a lot of you guys that I've talked to that started with a 5.5, I'm super jealous of you guys because I didn't have that luxury. I didn't start with that. I started with a very small setup. $250. Bought a Walmart pressure washer and some Purple Power degreaser, and made my start that way. So marketing got better, prices got higher, packages got better. We got the brand recognition going for us. All of those things contributed to the significant increase in our tickets, because I think that first year our average ticket was about $400, and that may have even been like full service, like everything, to last year. Last year average tickets were around about $800. So average house wash, and most of them were a little over. Most of it was over 800. I haven't gone back and crunched all the numbers on it, but I was just trying to make a little refresher video for you guys because it's been a while since I posted, so I wanted to reach back out. And hopefully this sheds light on stuff. I want to motivate you guys, but I also kind of want to be truthful about stuff too, because I've got some friends that are in the industry that are falling out of the industry, and I hate that. I just had another one of my buddies reach out to me and say that hey, he's gone, he's out. I wish you the best of luck. I really do. I wish you would have stayed in. I told the guy too that he was honestly like my biggest competitor here locally that is stepping away from the market. So I can kind of rest easy on that, but it's kind of a heavy blow too because I was getting to be really good friends with him. So even though you have people out there that are in the same industry that are competition for you, doesn't mean that you can't network with them. You can't kind of fellowship with them and get to be good friends with them, and even help mentor them and guide them too. So the more people you can surround yourself with, the better it's going to be. And that was another big thing for last year too, is I started networking with a lot of these local competitors. And once you start networking with them, guess what? Your overall top revenue is going to increase, because when you start networking with these guys, if they've got big projects they need help with, guess who they're going to call? They're going to call you because they need help. Because a lot of times it's just one-man operations. A lot of people don't have technicians or don't have the ambition to grow it or turn it into a larger business. They're just trying to keep it as a side hustle or just do it as their own thing. So that was really big, was networking with a bunch of people. So once I started networking, that increased my net worth as well. So I've said that a bunch. I'll say it again. Your network equals your net worth. So even networking with local competitors, because honestly, like, we're all in the same boat. We're all trying to achieve the same thing. So if you can help each other out, always take advantage of doing that. And the benefit of that too is your signs stay up longer. If you know everybody in your area that's doing pressure washing, guess what? You're gonna be a lot less likely to snatch your signs up. When I first started, if I put a yard sign out, next day it's probably gone. I've got some that have been out for like a month or so now. I've got these guys will literally call me and cut up with me, or they'll take pictures of my signs and they'll text me pictures of them, just to let me know that, hey, they've seen them, or they like the signs, or I'm stepping on their toes because I'm marketing where they want to be marketing, and usually they're just cutting up with me about it. But networking was huge too. So biggest difference from last year versus this year: prices, packaging, networking, marketing, and brand recognition. Focusing on those things made significant leaps and bounds on our growth over the last year, and it's things that I'm going to continue focusing on, and hopefully I can just really drive those into the ground this year and get better marketing plans set out, and hopefully we can at least double our sales this year. It'd be nice to go from 161 to, let's see, 350 at least. We're going to shoot for 350 and see if we can't get that. That'll be the goal. And I guess, yeah, so last goals I had for last year, already mentioned the revenue one. I had a goal of 220, missed it, fell short at 161. I did have a goal of getting a truck and a trailer by October of last year, and I actually got all of that back in like February and March. So I set the whole entire year up. That was like towards the year-end goals, and I was able to kind of manifest that and make that happen at the beginning of the year, which set us up really well for the rest of the year. And then getting the truck wrapped, I was hoping to have that done by the end of the year, and I still haven't done that. So that is definitely going back on the goals for this year. So I've got the revenue goal, I've got simple goals of wanting to get the vehicle wrapped. This year I'd also like to get off of the truck. That's going to be one of my goals, is to get off the truck. I just hired a new technician. I had a previous one who was working out great for me. I love the guy to death. He's extremely hard worker. I wish I could have kept him on. Daniel, I appreciate you, bud. I really do. All the work that you did for me. It really kind of helps pave the way for bringing on the new technician, because all of that was new, and I appreciate all your help on that. I do have the new technician working for me now, so hopefully between him and anybody else that I can bring on, we can really kind of get this thing to continue to grow and gain more momentum and just really take off. So that's it. I appreciate you guys checking in. I do see how the channel has grown. We're almost at 500 subscribers now, so if you can, as always, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends. It helps out a bunch. And yeah, appreciate you guys. Take it easy. We'll check in later.